And just like that, we're live. I think. Yeah, no, we are, we are. So I'm moving back to YouTube. I said this in a community post. I didn't get to say it like live. I'm moving back to YouTube for live streaming because I don't know. I'm just more comfortable on YouTube. It's like the interface, whatever, for Twitch. I have to like go and click through millions of things before I can find my stream. And then here, I just get to go to one place where I've already scheduled it. And like Twitch, you can't really schedule streams. You just like, it's like an in the moment thing. Like you just start it up right there with the title or whatnot. I just think the scheduling it feels a lot easier. That might just be me though. I like feel that scheduling it is much easier. So then like it's there, just sitting on the channel. And it's like, all right, so I can set a reminder for this or whatnot, and it's there. Okay, so and it would just pull up whenever they want, but it's there. Like it's scheduled, so they know what's happening, and I know what's happening, and we're all good. So here we are back on Genshin. The last time I logged on was maybe last week. I ended up pulling for Lynette off cam. I didn't record it because I didn't think it was going to go crazy, right? It was just going to be like another summoning where I'm just like, oh yeah, you pull for Lynette and then you get like maybe one, maybe none, or whatever. I get like C1, C2. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is the first 4-star to ever be the kindest to me. I kid you not. We ended up getting her C6. And it's insane because this coming from me, like my luck with 4-stars was always terrible. Like it took me an entire year to get a C6 Bennett, and I'm like one of those people that wanted C6 Bennett because I main D-Luke, and like C6 Bennett is very good for him, right? But I ended up getting a C6 Lynette, right? In the process, we did get some 5-stars, okay? Now, I'm not that excited about the 5-stars I got, I'll be honest. As many, if you've been on the channel long enough, you know that this isn't it's one of my least sought after characters. And we ended up getting her C4, and now, and then the other 5-star we ended up getting, which is it's not terrible. It's just I didn't really like care about getting him, but we got Lenny. So I mean, he's broken. I've done the trial with him already. He's really strong. He's new to the account. I haven't leveled him or anything. I don't know if I'll build him. We'll see. But for now, I do want to build Lynette first. She's level 50. So that's like terrible. Like there's progress that can be made for that. Maybe I will do that sometime eventually. I don't know. But the next thing I'll probably do on my account is end up building Lynette. And we'll see how good she is as a DPS, as like an animal buffer support, as like, I don't know. We'll do something with her, alright? We'll figure that out. But that's not what today's stream is about. I just want to give you guys a quick update on the account, right? Because it's been like a week since I've logged on here. So, yeah. We got Lynette, C6. We got a Linny, and we got an extra gene. Which wasn't really that favorable for me, but we did it. So, we got the Lynette, which is insane. I did want this character for a long time, so that's why I didn't feel bad about putting like all my Primogems into that. Like, I have like literally, yeah, I have like none left. That was everything I put into that banner. And they went crazy. The Lynnettes were coming in crazy. Now, the purpose of today's stream, right, is we're gonna be going back. See, I'm not like extremely behind. There's a lot of people that are like sitting on like about 10, 20 story quests right here, right? But I'm only sitting on 4, right? So, like, these are like story quests for the characters are mainly supposed to be about the character to an extent. But I think they, bring some lore in or whatnot. Some even change the game. Like, for example, Nahida's one brings you the world boss and whatnot. So I do want to be up to date on all of them, right? I do want to be up to date on them. So I'll just slowly work on getting up to these and getting up to Linny or whatnot. But today we're going to be starting with Dehya. Today we're going to be starting with Dehya's story quest. And then we move up and we'll like do these one by one. That doesn't mean tomorrow I'll do Baizu or something. Tomorrow I'll probably do something else. I don't want to like just spam like Genshin story stuff or whatnot. We're going to be doing Dehya's story quest today. Yeah, so I don't even know where I'm supposed to go to start that. Shade upon red silk, lion's blood. Go to the Grand Bazaar. One day you and Paimon stop by the Grand Bazaar. And it feels weird because we're going back to do like a Sumeru story quest when we have Fontaine unlocked now, right? But realistically, I just want to get them out of the way. I want to do them. Let's see what they have to offer, and that's the whole point of these story quests. They're not as massive as Archon quests, but I'll still like do them to just catch up to them. They also give some Primogems, so why not? The only thing that I like feel like I'm never going to catch up on, like ever, is probably world exploration. I kid you not, I did the world exploration for Mondstadt, Liyue, Inazuma, 100%. All three of those. Then when the chasm came out, I just like stopped with the exploration. It was like, it got kind of tedious. I didn't feel like doing it anymore. And yeah.
Surprise!
Also, Lynette has a constellation where she can like run like twice, so she can use the ability. Oh, just started instantly. I thought like I walked into like a darkness or something. Alright, I guess we're going straight into it. Let's go. Wait, real quick, let me see if the audio is working right now. Okay, it is working. Gotta make sure. Biryani! Yo! I literally ate that yesterday. I'm not even joking. My dad made biryani. It's so good. That wasn't on our list, was it?
We can still add it to the list.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. Wasn't expecting.
Oh, we just went into Dehya like right away. Like that's how we begin the story goes here.
Hello there.
And done your Zod.
Quite a while. Huh. So you two are still hanging out together. Dehya, didn't you say last time that you were gonna head back to the desert?
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard. Not that our friendship was over. We're still the best of friends. The Homayanis also still post jobs from time to time. Their pay is always generous, so me and the other mercs never pass them up.
I told Dehya to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dehya wasn't around.
That sounds like something they would say, all right. They're always so welcoming. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But the master kept insisting, and I ended up staying for another day.
You can stay for as many days as you want, Dehya. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady.
What? She said they'll treat you to the best dishes. I can't believe you can still refuse that.
Paimon, not everyone just wants the best dishes like all the time.
But wait.
Okay, that sounds really
Didn't you
stupid of me to say.
last time that you would take me
Everybody
to
loves
the
food, right?
desert? Why don't you just take me with you today when you leave? There are so many places I still haven't visited yet.
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade. Besides, the desert hasn't exactly been the most peaceful place lately.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
Alright, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like... I feel like something is off about you lately. Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid. Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
Nah, are you kidding? You're worrying too much.
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. Wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know I'll help you however I can.
The power of friendship.
Oh, looks like Junior Zod was onto something.
You're too perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
My lady, you're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? All right, I'll share what I know. Let's go somewhere else first. This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion.
Is it that deep?
Okay.
Is that how we start
Let's
this?
talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention.
Yeah, I'm just here, you know.
As you
Don't
may
mind me.
already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. Many mercs are no different than me, just going around looking for jobs to earn some mora. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal and brave. However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of mora. The most notorious is a faction known as Deshret's Relics.
Deshret's Relic. So is this gonna be about like an Eremite brigade that's like notorious? Is that what this whole thing is gonna be about?
Deshret's relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
King Deshret. Imagine if I said Alamar.
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths.
Wait, aren't they the
with
same
Final
person?
Akhmar. They're one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Oh no, wait, that's another faction that's with King Deshret. I'm stupid. I thought it was completely something
They
different.
tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge Capsule. Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is
I don't even
composed
remember
of
that.
many smaller brigades
I
like
was probably there
Final
for that, but I don't remember it.
The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dakan al-Akhmar.
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. Anyway, the real issue is that Dakan al-Akhmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Huh?
Say what now?
I think
Lore?
I'm starting to understand your anxiety now. But what did they do?
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents. We're talking hundreds.
Hundreds?
Yep. The scenes tend to be quite gruesome, too. They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them. Not
That's
only
messed
have
up.
they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's Relic sees it. All I do know is that Dakan al-Akhmar has become more and more aggressive over the last few years. If I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become their next target. I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Yeah. How can your father do such terrible things?
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him? He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time drinking and chasing after women. Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother? Did she ever step in to stop them?
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother.
I'm sorry, Dehya. I didn't know.
It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random person. He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me. He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. The one thing I do remember is that he used to tell me stories. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories, and even those tended to be pretty stale. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats, they started to get a little dull. He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play. Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords.
I would take that.
It was only much
Random
later
comment
when
after
I
so long.
realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
It's like it's not much for me to say right now. I'm just like kind of just taking in the story, and I guess we go over it after. I don't know.
What an interesting guy.
But it doesn't sound like he had all bad intentions.
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish. That was something I could just shrug off. I had no reason to despise him, until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. They not only accepted such heinous acts, they would even openly boast about them. No one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, My father and his cronies were more like the bad guys that needed to be taken down. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would never know?
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good. I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to me.
You just want to find out why they suddenly started causing so much trouble.
Yeah. I told the boys to gather as much information as they could. Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
That may be true, but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to worry.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
I'll go back to the desert with Dehya.
Huh? But there's no need for you to get caught up in this mess.
But I'm the
too.
main character, I have to.
Well, he's super tough. So
Mhm.
if he went into the desert with you, then Paimon bets the problem will be solved in no time.
Thank you, Paimon. Thank you for boosting my ego,
inclined to
Paimon.
agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if you took him along to help.
You can count on me. I'll do my
I'll
best.
wait for news from you in the city until then. Please, stay safe.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my lady. All right, then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot, where we can catch up a bit with my fellow mercs.
I feel like we've been to Carvat Rebot a lot. Manticora Chapter Act 1. Lion's Blood started. Alright, let's do it. I'm not walking there. It's pretty far. Very far. So we're just gonna teleport. Finally found the game. It's astronomical. What game? Oh, wait, it's right here in the front.
Hey, Dehya, you're back. Are these two friends of yours?
So long story short, Dehya's father runs an organization that, or a brigade, that's what they're called. A brigade that has been doing a lot of bad things, and we're going to investigate it, I guess. That's what this quest is about. For those who are just coming in. I trust Dehya with my life. It's a pleasure to meet you. They'll say that she's really strong.
So you've already become like one
Oh
of
yes,
us?
oh yeah, he's part of the Blazing Beast. That's her group.
Anyway, since we've got newcomers, let me fill you in on what Dakan al-Ahmar has been up to lately.
What?
They've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, even their own now have become acceptable targets.
Wait, so they're targeting their own people? That's messed up. What's this? I of course will play this story because of Dehya and make respect with it. You're gonna play Dehya's story? I mean, like I just started it, and so far they set up they just set up a massive plot for an investigation. That's kind of how they do these story quests. Bro, no one's talking about Ebony King's return, bro. Please, no one cares if it's free on mobile.
They even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own. It sounds like they've thrown that straight to the wind.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenaries, they sell it off to a different brigade, or turn to merchants on the black market. A portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more food and weaponry to be used in their next violent operation.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so desperate for Mora. A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as merchants to conduct trade with them. We were able to learn a few things from the exchange. Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it'd probably be more accurate to say that they're experiencing an internal power struggle.
Wait, a power struggle?
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims are mercenaries from the other brigades of Deshret's relics. If their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the different brigades within the relics. That's the only plausible explanation we have. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific. It seems they're also trying to keep things under wraps. Oh, One last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as Dakan al-Ahmar became more and more active, Deshret's relics as a whole became a lot weaker.
They were able to cause so much damage that somehow makes things even more confusing.
It sounds mighty strange to me, too. Haroon, you can leave the rest of the investigation to us. Gotta say, though, I didn't expect you to go on a whole undercover mission during the few days I was gone. Sounds like you were really putting your necks on the line, no?
Nah, it was nothing. We're just as concerned about the situation as you are. Dakan al-Ahmar is your father's crew after all.
What he said. Besides, Dehya, haven't you done more dangerous things than all of us combined? What we did is nothing compared to your experiences.
Yeah. And while they went to talk with Dakan al-Ahmar, I took a look at the last camp they attacked.
Damn, but these guys have all been investigating, man.
Any survivors of the attack were all
They're like being mad useful.
There was nothing
When the
about
side characters are actually useful to the plot. Like, really useful.
Hisham and Khalaf. You're here, too.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Rebat. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, I'm sensing a special vibe from him.
What does that even mean?
Now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you, we can also rest easy.
Hey, what about Paimon? You have anything special?
Oh, you're also planning to tag along?
Of course. Paimon is the
Who are you
traveler's
again?
most important guy. Wherever he goes, Paimon will follow.
Oh, in that case, then you better take care of her too, Dehya.
Don't underestimate Paimon.
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, but she's been through just as many battles as the Traveler here.
She was there for all of them.
Even if she had only survived on sheer luck, then that alone would still make her quite formidable.
I had no idea. I guess I shouldn't judge by appearances.
Oh, one other thing, Dehya. When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming schedule? We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Main. You weren't around at the time, so people were pretty disappointed to only find our crew of rough, unkempt guys. The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a few people chose to stay, and that really got to him.
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. I left in a hurry and I couldn't make it back in time for the event.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment, though. You're our brigade's main selling point, after all. Now, if only the deputy could figure out
She's
a
the
way to
mascot.
bring a few more smoking hot members into our ranks.
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade? You all just froze up with your mouths gaping like a bunch of scarecrows. The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them. They were originally interested in joining us, but after that, they both told me they were too uncomfortable to stick around.
Hey, didn't we agree to never bring...
Huh? Wait, are you serious? Why have I never heard about this?
I don't think you were part of the brigade yet.
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that, and you weren't even gonna tell me?
He's just walking away.
All right. We can tell you about it later. Now's not the time.
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything.
Look at his face. Well, that's for them to deal with.
Always like this?
More or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speaking our minds. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. And if that doesn't put an end to it, then you just challenge them to a fight.
Was that dialogue like really laggy just now? Was it just me? Okay, no, I think I don't even know what just happened. Like that dialogue was really laggy for me just now.
But we also don't tend to take many things too seriously.
But why are they running? Yo, he's running, bro. They're going after him in the background.
It's better than keeping everything bottled up, never talking about it. That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk.
They're not even paying attention, or you're just looking back and forth.
If I'm angry, then I'll unload on them. It's hard to stop once you get used to it. Though, I can never do that when I'm with the Homayanis. Hey, knuckleheads! Can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to your bickering?
Yeah, you hear her, Khalaf? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first. I drew up a map. Right here is the spot. There you'll find the merchant caravan responsible for getting rid of Dakan al-Ahmar's looted goods. All you gotta do is wait and ambush them in the evening. They'll have no idea what hit them.
Oh, so we're going on an ambush
Perfect.
mission.
Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to everyone else in the brigade as well.
Will do. You stay safe, Dehya.
All right. Now it's the action phase. Watch over your trade route and wait for your moment. Oh, we have to go all the way back here. Okay. I guess we wait for them to pass, and then we just like do the ambushing technique, and then we're good.
Over here.
By the way, the run for Lynette is not as long as Shalon's. It's literally like probably like half the duration. I think it might be half. I can like confirm. How long does it stand for? So you use it. Hold max duration 2.5 seconds. You can hold it for 2.5, and then her one is 3 seconds. How does it feel like half? It feels really slow. And also, you can't target multiple enemies with Lynette's one. You'll stop lagging me. Yo, chill. Yo, guys, I'm frozen. You guys might be frozen. I may or may not. Okay, we're good now. Yeah, you can only target one person with hers. Like, Yolanda could run through the enemies, but not hers. I get a random event here as well. That's great. Like, if you try to run through them, like, it only targets one of them.
Over here.
And you just pull them all together. And they're dead. That's it. Anyways. Let's go to the trade route. Yo! This is the random event. So many of them.
Don't be scared.
Chill. Okay. Anyways. Oh, this guy's a pyro shield. Of course I wasn't gonna one-shot him. Okay. They just gave me a random event on my route over to this quest over here. That was random.
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time.
Alright, let's do it.
It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another, so let's all be careful.
No need to worry. He knows his way around a fight.
He definitely
I'm
does.
not worried about that. What I meant is that we probably shouldn't go too hard on
I
him.
didn't think about that.
After all,
I didn't think
we
about
still
that.
need to get information out of him.
I didn't think about that. Oh, we're just gonna like do the clock thing. We're time skipping right now. This is it.
Here they come. You ready? Let's not give them a chance to react and end this quickly.
Damn. Okay, we're just gonna put them all down right now. Oh, I get to play. I'll get to play as Dehya. I like completely forgot that like in this story quest you get to play as them. You play Dehya then. Hold up. We can I just like swirl them all real quick? I don't have reverse. I don't have reverse ready. Wait. Give me a second. Wait. Alright, there you go. Alright, let's go. Bro. Don't stop looking at me like that, bro. She's the support. She's like, she's not even like a full-on like damage dealer. Remember how disappointed everybody was when Dehya came out because of how like weak her damage was? I think her kit is cool. Like taking damage for people or whatnot, like off field. Was that what she did? I like forgot.
You're the Flame Bane.
Good. That saves me an introduction. All right, time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Dakana Lakmar now?
Interrogation time.
Tell me, what are they after?
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key information about our employer. What makes you think I'd talk?
Well, here comes the part where she punches him.
That might have worked on an amateur, but I know you're just looking to protect your reputation. Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed in this line of work? Tools like, I don't know, your limbs or eyes. You've got 5 seconds. You might want to think twice about how much your employer's information is worth to you.
It's alright, Paimon. She knows what she's doing.
I'm not joking around. We can do this the easy way or the painful way. 2 seconds.
Oh, you
I'll
shoot.
save you the trouble.
Huh?
Huh? Are you crazy? He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick,
What?
search the area for any first aid supplies.
That's what it's worth? It's worth his life, that information? Are you serious? With Dehya's emergency treatment, the bleeding of his mouth was brought under control.
I definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound wasn't too deep, and he just passed out from the pain.
What? Why would he be so extreme?
Yeah, no, I thought the same
I
thing.
just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of mercenaries to talk just by threatening them. I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but maybe it's not a good idea to interrogate him any further. What should we do?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him again after that. He might just hurt himself again if we start asking. There are lots of goods around here. Let's search the area. Maybe we'll be able to find something. I'm really sorry.
Oh man. Yo, the information had to be like really important for him to just like try to bite his own tongue. Which that's like brutal. I didn't even read what there are a lot of daily necessities like food and water in the boxes. It doesn't seem like there's anything noteworthy.
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of something.
Let me take a look. If this really is a merchant caravan, they should have a record of their transactions. Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti. All familiar names. Dakana Lakmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. It seems that in the past, they used to receive some canned knowledge as well. This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods for Mora, and the funds will then be passed to a specific person. That person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods, which will then be brought right back to Dakana Lakmar. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
No value?
Or maybe because it's stolen.
Yeah. Every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as delivered.
Maybe the more amounts just happen to cancel each other out.
Perhaps. But they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the loot. Do they not care about profit margins at all? Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. There are a lot of entries. Everything was probably sourced from the rainforest. Huh?
What's wrong?
Shazamon Homayani?
Homayani? You mean Dunyarzad's family?
Uh-oh.
Could it just be another family with the same last name?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shazamon Homayani is Dunyarzad's father, and the head of the Homayani family. Just what the heck is going on here?
Calm down, Dale. Let's analyze the situation first.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'll consider what we found and not jump to conclusions just yet. But what this piece of paper confirms is that the Homayani family has been providing goods to Dakana Lakmar.
Oh. Interesting.
What if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark and don't know they've been trading with Dakan Akhmar?
That's a possibility. But if that was the case, why is this caravan specifically named Shazamon as their person of contact? They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Ribat or Port Ormos.
If Shahzaman was actually aware of this, then perhaps he's been supplying the brigade's operations this entire time.
Yeah, funding violence and looting. The brigade gets the goods, and he is paid the proceeds from the sale of the loot.
What? Why would he do something like this? It's not like the Homayanis are in need of money.
I honestly have no idea.
There's something deeper going
I've
on
been
here.
to their estate many times, and I've never noticed anything suspicious. The only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment costs for Dunyarzad's Elazar. Maybe they borrowed a lot of Mora in the past?
I mean, like, she's cured of it, no? After, like, the main story, she got
But
cured.
that's still just a speculation. I don't think the master would stoop so low to make Mora.
I don't think Dunyarzad knows anything about this either.
You're probably right. I know my lady's personality, and she wouldn't deliberately keep something like this from us.
What should we do now? All we
If we want to get to the bottom of this, we won't be able to turn back.
If you ask me, we already have no choice but to confront her about this. I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. I still have faith in the Homayanis. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything and see if she's willing to lend us her support. If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper, but also follow the trail of breadcrumbs to the people responsible at Dekhan al-Akmar.
Dehya, are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need, we just end up revealing everything we've discovered to the enemy?
I've considered that possibility. But even still, I want to tell her what we found. I think I owe her that much. True friendship is built on trust. She showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with doubt and suspicion. That's not how I deal with people.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzad too.
I hope we'll be of help to her.
Yeah. Let's pay another visit to Sumeru City.
Off we go again. Back to Sumeru City, where we started. Oh wait, I got caravan accounts. I didn't read what that was. Return to Sumeru City and talk to Dunyarzad. It's still over here. Okay, so apparently Dunyarzad's family is involved in whatever transaction is happening between the organization of Dehya's father, the people who are committing crimes, being the brigade to target other brigades and even their own, which is kind of messed up if you think about it.
We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than
Let's
I
see how this
expected.
goes.
You mustn't have run into any trouble then. Well, how did it go? What did you come up with?
Actually, we're still investigating. It's just that we've discovered something strange.
I see. The clues you found have led you back here, in the city?
Something like that. Yeah.
You all look a little dispirited. Whatever you found must not have been very encouraging after all. Why don't you discuss it with me? Maybe I'll be able to say something to cheer you up?
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much about me being upset with my father or anything like that. How should I put this?
So something is wrong. Even the Traveler and Paimon have been uncharacteristically quiet.
Uncharacteristically quiet? Traveler never talks. What do you mean uncharacteristically quiet?
On any other day, Paimon would have already waved to me with a smile and shouted, Dunyarzad!
Oh wait, no wait, hold up. But that's true though. That's literally something Paimon would do. But like, I don't talk. I never talk.
So tell me, what happened?
Well?
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're going to tell you next. It concerns the Master.
The Master? You mean my father? Okay, I understand. Don't worry about me. I'll listen as attentively as I can.
Dehya managed to explain the result of the investigation to Dunyarzad.
My father has been supplying goods to Dekhan al-Akmar?
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does to you. I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time rationalizing how he could ever support an infamous brigade like them. Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story, and just stumbled into the deal by accident.
That feels unlikely though.
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzad?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell you about some doubts that I've been harboring for quite a while.
Oh, so she has information too.
In the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run away and get lost. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire Dehya?
About that. Well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguards, so they reached out to the Blazing Beasts. Later, the Master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen, and that I should stick around to become one of his bodyguards. He offered me a pile of mora, so I just signed on.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question. Just think about it. Why did my father specifically reach out to the Blazing Beasts?
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or Maybe someone recommended us? I've never given it too much thought. I think I get what you're saying. You'd think none of this was a coincidence.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seems strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense. If my father had always been in contact with the Khan al-Akmar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dehya into our house.
You mean the goal all along was to get Dehya to be your bodyguard?
That doesn't sound unlikely.
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
So, the Master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
That's what things are looking like at this point.
Sorry we put all this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzad.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you. Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
But is that really the right thing to do? My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. I have zero sympathy for him. You may call me an ungrateful child, but my feelings will remain the same. However, the Homayani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homayani family. I would be biting the hand that's fed me over all these years.
Dehya.
It's alright, Dehya. If anyone were to ask, you could always just say that I'm the one who instructed you to get to the bottom of this.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of taking responsibility. Besides, you're the one we should all be worried about right now.
Hey, it's still too early to give up hope. What was that thing about friendship again?
True friendship's built on trust.
Right, yeah, trust.
Yeah, that
You
thing.
said that yourself, Dehya. Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts.
If your trust hasn't been misplaced, then he probably has many conflicting feelings as well.
Thank you, everyone. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I should always remember the trust that I've placed in people. In which case, my lady, could you ask the Master to come out and have a chat with us?
We're getting direct with this.
Sure thing. I also hope he'll be able to give us a logical explanation. Let's meet at the usual place then.
Usual place? Ah, right.
Is it like in the bazaar? What's the usual place? Is that the bazaar? Is it at the bazaar? Or is it at their house? Is it at the tavern? The tavern. It's the tavern, isn't it? It's the tavern. It has to be. Yep. It's the tavern.
Thank you for coming,
Oh.
sir.
Oh no, there's one spot that's like near the tavern. It's not in the tavern. It's like outside the. Why is this the usual spot? I feel like this was from like one of the main quests that we came to this one spot a lot. So I guess it's the usual spot then.
Please allow me to introduce these two. This is the Traveler, and next to him is his travel companion, Paimon.
Ah, yes, my daughter has mentioned them from time to time. It's a privilege to finally meet them in person. But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important matter you wish to discuss with me today?
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention. There's something on this record that we're all pretty curious about.
Here it comes. Dehya explains the issue to Shazuma. You get to read
that's
it.
what you found. Huh. Seems like I can't keep everything from you much longer.
Okay. So he has been hiding something.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an explanation.
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. What I do know, though, Dehya, is that the truth will bring you no solace. If anything, it will likely cause you a great amount of anguish.
That will literally make her want to know the truth more.
Wait, me?
Yes, I understand perfectly why you came to see me. And I am touched by your collective commitment to do the right thing. But knowledge always comes at a price. And sometimes, as they say, ignorance is bliss. Your father, Kusela, and I both believe that. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but I must warn you, the facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself into sand blowing in the wind. If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the wind like a fleeting mirage.
His heartfelt efforts? I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I follow. I've made it this far in life without a single drop of my father's support. I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I've chosen to cherish and fight for. None of these things have anything to do with him. I came here today to support you as the head of the Homiyani family. No warning will change my stance on that.
I understand. Then let me tell you a little story.
Well, guys, buckle in. It's story time.
Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzad was just a baby. Along the way, we were attacked by bandits. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed lost, a group of passerby Eremites lent us their support. Those Eremites were Kusela's brigade, Dekan al-Ahmar. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would Dekan al-Ahmar go so far to save us and not spare the fellow Eremites? Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyarzad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Really? I never knew.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because he had a daughter about the same age. We started talking about our children, and I sensed that he was a devoted father. To repay his kindness, I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time, and offered everyone generous remuneration.
So, that's what happened.
It was many years before I saw him again.
Flashback.
I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself. He couldn't even walk anymore without his cane.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was absolutely nothing to worry about and that he had gotten into a fight. That was all. He then suddenly asked me if Dunyarzad, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own. At the time, Dunyarzad was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar. There was no need for her to have a bodyguard when she could barely leave the house. But he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know a bodyguard won't come in handy one day? I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beast.
See, he did have
In
an influence
a
in
mercenary.
Dehya getting hard as a mercenary there.
So he was the one who recommended Dehya to you.
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt every member in their ranks. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious world of mercenary life. If Dehya could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then gradually her affinity for the desert would decrease, and she'd be able to leave her previous life behind.
And that's why you offered her such generous compensation?
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, I also began to see Dehya as my own daughter. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. I was willing to spend however much it took. Kusela saved my daughter and me all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
He was always like that. Acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dehya's fees. I refused to take any mora from him, but he'd always sent me funds anyway. Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that went on for a while until I received another letter from him a few years ago. The letter contained a request to help him buy food.
That was the
medicine,
request that we just got the receipt for.
even explosive materials.
Wait, isn't that around the time that Dekan al-Akbar started becoming more aggressive?
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wary. I wanted to meet him face to face to discuss things, but by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, it's probably because he doesn't want to put Dehya at risk.
But by that same token, he should have also stopped asking you for materials.
That thought occurred to me as well. I figured that he probably came to me for help because he had nobody else to turn to. After some deliberation, I decided to send him some food and medicine. I turned down all his requests for explosives and weaponry. I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm, but I could not simply reject his plea for help. In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my ears to the rumors and just chose a solution that made me feel least guilty about myself.
If you can, please tell me where he is now. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from getting tangled up in his world. If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have brought me into this world in the first place.
That's deep.
Oh no. Dehya, please don't feel that way.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions.
Maybe there's another way of looking at all this. Can you try to believe in him just one more time? I'm gonna say that maybe there's no way of looking at this.
Another way? I don't know. I knew him, and he was nothing more than a childish brute. I can't understand what's going through his head, but I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet. We still need to figure out his exact actions and reasoning for these last few years.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between the two of you would need to be resolved between you and him alone. I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his brigade with some goods, I tried my best to avoid getting involved any further with him. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be a mercenary in the desert and is now a member of the Corps of 30. He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dekhan al-Akhmar's merchant caravan. I think he should know Kusela's whereabouts.
Yeah, but the interrogation didn't
I've
work
heard
last time.
that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool wind at night outside the tavern. Maybe you'll be able to find him there.
Understood. Thank you, sir. Then I guess this is bye for now, unless...
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, I'm still a little dazed and haven't finished processing everything quite yet. My father has indeed done something wrong, but if I think about it, I'm also not sure if there was a right way to handle this problem. I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over to the Corps of 30 and let them render judgment.
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose. It's time to face my mistakes.
Alright. And with that... Oh wait, yeah, okay, so all the text was in, like, blue. The one we remember that. I remember the name. It's just Tavern at Night. I don't know why they, like, recolored it like that. It's, like, so... It's not hard. It's like I just turn it to night and then I just wait here. Wait, what is night? Wait, maybe I don't know. Hold up. Dehya and Danger's father were old acquaintances. Desperate to keep Dehya from life mercenary. Okay, so I just have to look for him outside in Tavern at Night. So I think I just turned the time to night. Like that. Actually, let's do like right here. Pretty sure that's like night as well. That's like sundown. Yeah, that's sundown. And then this is night. Okay, it didn't say specifically what time. It just said night. So I'm assuming... Oh, wow. That's him right there. That's insane. That's literally insane that he just, like, spawned right there. Anyways, let's start.
Huh? Who are you guys?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while working for the Corps. Pretty bold, if you ask me.
Shh. Keep your voice down. How do you know all that? Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. I'll be happy to talk things over once we're somewhere private.
And then he just starts running.
This place should do. Alright. Back to my question. How did you all know about me?
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait. There's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of me in the past. I weighed it in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also make some quick mora.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Dekhan al-Akmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit of mora from my last run. You just give me a number, and I'm sure we can...
Bro.
Shut it. My patience is running out.
This guy,
You
bro.
should know when a mercenary is after something other than money.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice words for me later. They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey, come on. Now you're just being unreasonable.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to figure out something else for y'all.
Now that's more like it. Let's move.
And then he runs
And
away.
as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city.
Interrogations are real, man. Look at him.
Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere.
Part of me wants to believe him. He's sad. Look how sad he is now. He's like, oh, well, I guess I gotta just stay here. I can't go anywhere. I'm like forced to be stuck here. Poor guy. Alright, go to the location of Dekhan al-Akmar. Let's do it. He's in the desert. All the way over here. It's kind of far. Alright. Hopefully he hasn't run off by the time we get back. And he didn't lead us into a trap. Because why would this be a trap? Like, you know? We're definitely going to find something here. I'm not being sarcastic. Alright, let's see what's here.
Over here.
Alright, I can just use these.
Seems like we're in luck. That should be their camp right up ahead.
I wasn't trying to make the reference. I guess it just like came off as that. I'll take the compliment though. I'll take the compliment.
Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves.
It just came out that way.
I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Oh shoot. Oh, it's about to go down in here. Here we go. Dehya with the pyro infusion. This is what Pyro D is supposed to look like. Where's my burst? Why my burst take so long to charge? Yo, what's the energy on this burst, man? They give her C3. 70 energy. Ow. Bro. Oh wait, that's a boss? I didn't know that was a boss. I started thrashing at him. Smash through all obstructions. I'm assuming they just mean these enemies. I forgot what it is that Dehya did. Did she like take damage for people off field? Is that what she does? So she does like a side-by-side attack based off her attack and max HP. They get resistant to interruption. And when characters take damage, a portion of it's mitigated to Dehya's HP. Okay, yeah, so she does take damage for people. I always thought that was cool.
Haven't you all done enough?
Yo, they brought more reinforcements.
So are you also here to stop us?
Alright, well, I mean...
It's got nothing to do with you.
I mean, it's about to go down in here. It's about me now.
Let's light it up.
Remember, you guys aren't the ones jumping me. I'm the one jumping you right now. Look, they're both bosses. They're like duo bosses. I haven't seen that HP bar like since what do you call it? You guys remember the like that duo boss?
Surprise!
Wait, can I just open up the map in the middle of the fight? I can. That duo boss in Inkonomia. These guys. This is like the only like mob in the game to have the duo HP bar thing, where there's like two bosses. You have to like kill them one after the other, or they like respawn.
You're dead meat!
Anyways. Damn, I didn't get to use like the whole burst. I get my burst at the end of the fight and I didn't even get to use it. Like,
She's so strong.
there you go, they're all, look at all of them.
Enough fighting.
They're all injured.
We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use hiding him anymore. Did you understand a single word I just said? Or do I need to bash your skull in some more?
All right, everyone, let's all just calm down for a second. Dehya, the boss can't come out and see you anymore. He died a long time ago.
You know, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of figured this was the case. Like, I was getting, like, hints towards this, like, ever since, what's his name? Ever since, what's his name? The father of, Dunyarzad? Like, when he started talking about, like, they used to trade or whatever, and whatnot, and then he stopped, like, talking to him or whatnot, I figured that it was because he died, and it was, like, just his group contacting him. It wasn't like him himself.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that's what the old man wanted.
When did he die? What happened to him?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Ahmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
Huh?
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's Relics must pay in blood for what they did.
So that's why they turned on each other. It was all motivated by revenge.
Let me start from the beginning. Dehya, do you know how the head of the relics maintained order internally?
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority?
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. They called it a person's record. Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, every person in Deshret's relics were forced to leave a record of themselves at headquarters, whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit. The record served both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material for blackmail.
So you mean Kusela thought there was no escaping the records?
That's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, and all the boys who grew up with Dehya and ended up joining our ranks. But you, Dehya, you were never asked to provide a record, were you?
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's relics who didn't know about it.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister rules. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly to headquarters. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records. He'd come up with all kinds of excuses and get beaten up as a result.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world, no matter what it took.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't walk without a cane.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this. And I'd never seen him get injured or beaten.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle? When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair went gray.
So, even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to a pulp before you ever left the desert.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need, since the Khan al-Ahmar would soon be no more. His words made no sense to me. But that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and razed everyone's records to ash.
Oh shoot, so he like burnt all the records down, so they have no records of all of his people.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well. But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly what had happened.
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, The sole purpose of Dakan al-Ahmar became revenge. The big fire that boss started was quite a blow to headquarters strength. It's given us the opportunity to launch our attack, even though we're outnumbered. We vowed to see our revenge through to the very end.
But Deshret's relics haven't been the only victims of your revenge.
There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rainforest. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supplies. From food and medicine to weaponry and explosives. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former
Okay, yeah,
friends.
see, like I said,
Thankfully, many people were willing to come to our aid.
I told you, when Dunyarzad's father, I already forgot his name, when he got the letter from him, it wasn't actually from him, it was from his people.
We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured unspeakable pain to win many impossible battles. Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike their headquarters.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
Responding to violence with more violence will only cause more pain. Do you have an idea the amount of damage you've done?
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. We do not deserve the freedom that the boss won for us with his life. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. Those tales about sacrificing yourself to save the world. We used to always laugh at him for it. But in the end, he really went and lived those stories out himself.
He went out as a hero.
As for me, I never considered myself a hero. We're all the lowest of the low. We have no right to even imagine such an existence, but maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. The spirit of the hero touched all those he had saved, and more people joined his cause. Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. But as we acted the parts and recited the lines, we were drawn in. And now, you want to see the story through to the end. I'm sorry, Dehya. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young. Just think of this as a madman ranting.
I wonder what she thinks about this.
I'll go with you.
But
Huh? Dehya?
she wants to see it through. She wants to see this through, and now we have to go along as
I grew
well.
up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some situations get so bad that it's difficult to tell good from evil. All I know is that Deshret's relics must be destroyed. Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I want to know if my father is still there. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
I'm on your side, Dehya. No, I made a promise to Dunyarzad to support you.
Yeah. Paimon feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see this through to the end.
Thank you. We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last moment like this.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford to turn down someone as powerful as you.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.
She's gonna see this through to the end. Go to the hiding place of the Deshret's relics. Oh, so we're just gonna like full on wipe them out with the whole crew here. Is that above land? Is that in a cave? I don't really know. I don't want to climb. I really don't want to just like teleport here and then start climbing. That would be like very inconvenient. Please tell me it's like on the same. Okay, you know what? I figured it wouldn't be. But then again, there's a wind current here, so it's not so bad. It could have been worse if there was no wind current here. Literally, this wind current just carried the whole thing. I remember that domain being down there. I didn't know there would be a wind current. And it would seem this wind current is literally carrying me through the entire thing. How convenient. Actually convenient. And it's taking me straight to where I need to go as well. Which is insane.
We sure didn't run into much trouble on the way here.
No, we didn't. Because we had, like, God to guide us.
I don't think they have enough manpower left to post guards and defend.
Oh, this is a
the
domain.
perimeters.
We're going into a domain. I figured. Yep. Bygone glories past. Led by Kusalia's old comrades, you arrive at the final hideout of the stretched relics. Fierce resistance is to be expected within, but it's time to call it curtains for vengeance, whether old or new. Let's go. Fire, Electro, and Dendro is recommended. Yo, I love this screen, by the way. Like, I love this screen. Like, it's so cool. Electro and Dendro. I think those are just... I don't think we need it. It's, like, recommended, but we don't need it. So I think we're just going with the level 50 Lynette. If she, she's not gonna die. I don't think she will. Because my Layla's shield is, like, 5 times her HP. We're good. Hopefully. Hopefully. Hopefully there aren't mechanisms as well for those elements. I really hope there aren't mechanisms for specific elements, or else I would actually have to go and switch. I think it was Dehya.
Wow.
Yo, we got literally the whole squadron here.
This on the inside.
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still take us out.
I've fought through many situations like this before.
Yeah. We'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before, but their name means nothing now.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you here. I'll take the lead. I've been here once before.
That's cool. Oh my god, and they give us them as allies! No way! I mean, I feel like we've had this before for one of like the side quests or whatnot. I'm pretty sure they're so useless. Yeah, they don't really do as much damage. But like, I think the idea of them fighting alongside you is really cool. I like that. And I'll fight as Dehya just to make it more immersive.
You ain't messing around. Let's get it on.
Bro, they literally gave me a whole squadron. This is kind of cool. Wait, he has Dendro. Can I like affect? Wait, can I affect him with Pyro if I use Bennett Salt? Wait, I need energy. I need energy. Give me energy. I need energy. Give me energy. Well, I mean, they're already affected with these guys. It doesn't buff them. I thought it would buff them. These guys are just like AFK dummies. Look at this guy. This is just funny. It's like they're not actually useful. They're just like there. The idea of them being there is cool though. Rather than every quest being like, oh yeah, all right, let's fight them together, and then it's just you fighting them yourself. But they actually put them in this quest, which is cool. They're useless, but it's cool. It's a cool visual that they're actually here with me. Now Dehya gets to go ahead and just do Dehya things and just destroy this. That's it. They're gone. I think that's really cool.
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Let's do it. The sound.
Wait, they went charging ahead without checking for any traps.
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped in here. Don't think we triggered anything else.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things have come to this, seems we'll have to fight our way through.
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Go and take a look around. There could still be another way through. Let's go! We can't let the boss down!
Let's check if there's another way. The sooner we can make it through to help them, the better.
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked by something. Let's try our luck with that mechanism.
Okay, let's go.
That's like the dumbest trap of all time. You just walk into a door and it just closes the door behind you. Like that. I mean, that's so typical. That's a literal typical trap. But it didn't like do anything like crazy, like, you know, blow up the room or like, I don't know, something wild. But I guess, you know, the mechanisms here aren't really that crazy. So change color, yellow. Yep, I figured. So I'm assuming it's supposed to be like in the middle, so I have to like raise this. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, look, it's like one of those matrices.
The night is cold.
Right. I keep forgetting it's 5.
Teamwork
And then we give the pyro infusion, and then we just run this guy down. It's over. Oh, and she has the weapon too. They gave us like... I'm gonna check it real quick. They give us her weapon, and they also... Noblesse. They always give us Noblesse. They give us C3. That's interesting. I don't know if they've given constellations before in story quests.
Another mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
That's what I just do. I just move it. Like, that wasn't so bad. Oh, it's a two-step one. So I'm lower this one, and then that's it. That's literally it. That wasn't even that hard. That's a new mechanism to me, though. Oh. Well, this guy was just gonna, like... He'd say hello to me at the door. He just started jumping me.
Not now. Don't be scared.
Here's my Bennett ult. Oh, actually, wait. They run him down. Do your thing. 9,000, 9,000, 9,000, 9,000. No, 9,000? Why go 8,600? Close, close, close. It was close. It was close, though. And he's invisible. Like, what do you expect me to do? Like they're invisible now. I guess I'll just have to hit the whole room then. It worked. It worked. All I had to do was hit the whole room. More matrices. Use this. That's supposed to taunt them. Forgot what it's called. The Boggle Cat box? I think that's what that's called. Is it the Boggle Cat box? I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Boggle Cat box. It's supposed to taunt enemies.
Flames, purge!
Let's light it up.
Take this. That's interesting. Another mechanism. I hope those guys are alright on the other side. Surely nothing bad happened to them, right? Where's the yellow on this? There's no yellow on this. Can I lower this? I can. They got to do this one first. This one's activated. But... I think I have to adjust it, like, real quick so that both can get shined on. So this and then I mean this is what it was before. I'm like stupid. Anyways, one more race. That activates that, and then this lowers that, and then that activates that, and then now that that's lowered, this doesn't even have a yellow side though. This doesn't have a yellow side. Is it possible to like change the color or something? Oh, I can't change the color. Wait, I'm dumb. I thought it was like. Okay, well, in any case, I could change the color for this one too then. I like, didn't realize I could change color. That would have made this so much easier. So now I spin this like 2 more times. 1, and then 2. I had to move that one up. And that's it. I'll open that. And then now I just changed the color to yellow for this one. There you go. Pretty light. Also, what? Oh, this game, Mega Melee. Wait, this is for the free Bennett. I didn't realize. I saw the compass up there. That's why I clicked on it. I was like, I gotta like do this for the crown. I already have a C6 Bennett, so I don't need that. All right, this looks like an arena. This literally looks like an arena, so I'm assuming something's about to go down in here. Let's see. That's a big treasure chest. May I have it?
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the other side.
The final boss. Like, literally, we walk into this massive ass arena, and it's a boss fight. Like,
But as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all expectations.
Don't waste your breath. You have nowhere to run.
Run. Had I wanted to run, I would have fled 1,000 times already.
what is this guy that I would have fled 1,000 times already?
I witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics. Even if I could leave this place behind, all that awaits me now are endless days of humiliation and ruin. Even now, my brothers and I still believe in one thing. The greatest should never live to remember their fall.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory?
Let us draw our weapons. We will show them the true power King Deshret bestowed upon his followers. They are but two, while we hold within ourselves the entirety of the relic story.
I can't with this guy's like the way this guy talks. I cannot take him seriously.
Charge! Eliminate them!
Wave 1. I'm playing like... Yeah, just send them all to me in waves. It's not a boss battle, it's just I'm clearing waves. I'm playing wave clearing simulator.
Let's light it up!
Don't think that you've won.
I mean... I think I'm doing pretty good.
Flames, purge!
I think I'm doing pretty good right now. I would say I'm doing pretty good.
Teamwork is dreamwork! You asked for
Here we go!
Now you're testing my patience.
13k, 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 13k.
King Deshret will not abandon any one of his followers.
Boggle cat box, go!
Guys, shine for me.
Draw their aggro. Boggle cat box.
Ways to the wicked.
Testing my patience.
Alright, I have increased resistance to interruption. That's why I can just keep hitting them over and over without, like, worrying. Then again, these, like, air mite enemies also have resistance to interruption in their kit. Just by existing.
Get it on!
That's cool.
Brothers, with me. This is where we prove our faith.
Boggle cat, where's my boggle cat box? Where did my boggle cat box go? Don't kill my Lynette, please.
None of us planned to
Anyways.
leave this place alive.
None of us plan to leave this place alive? Wait, hold up. Does that mean you're, like, destroying the entire place around me? I'd be worried.
Your sacrifice is ready.
Where do you think you're going?
Oh, that's the people that summon the spirits. That's cool. I always thought they were cool enemies. 'Cause they, like, summon a low spirit. Anyways, like, I know you can hit the spirit, and it'll, like, give them Omega, like, it'll make them reduce their resistance by a lot. Or whatnot, but, I mean, these guys are kind of weak, so I can just kill them straight up. In Spiral Abyss, you would not target those guys. You target their beasts, they lose their resistance when you kill the beast, and then you kill them.
But they're still coming at us. This place is like a gladiator's ring. They just keep coming no matter how many we beat.
It's the endless waves, bro.
Yes, keep fighting. There's no need to fear, and no need to back down. This is our last stand.
When the next wave comes, try to draw away their attacks. I'm going to see if I can take out that high platform.
Oh, shoot. See how that works.
Get out of my way.
Oh, shoot. Yo, they're here. They made it out.
Come and face me, Michel. Ugh. So they've broken through the front as well.
Apologies, Lord Michel. They fight like absolute madmen. No matter how much we throw at them, they just keep coming for more.
Oh, man. Oh, shoot. Yo. That's it. It's over for him. Look how scared he is. He just got dropped.
So, it would seem like this is the end.
Time to pay for everything you've done, Michel.
You think I would give you that opportunity?
Watch, the floor is gonna open or something.
I will be buried in the sand alongside all the rest of our fading glory.
Why does it always end like this? Why do they always, like, end up just, like, toppling the entire domain over? Watch, that's what's gonna happen right here.
Hey, wait!
Is this not what happened in, like, Sino's story quest? Like, the exact same thing? Where they, like, toppled the entire domain at the end? And then that, like, one of the guys ended up, like, you know, being left there?
We were too late.
Huh?
It's over. There's no more need to fight. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenary's pride, then I'll give you all a good beating as well.
Hey, Dehya! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Did he, like, what did he do?
Let's go.
Did he like pass out? Like what did he just do? I thought he was gonna like drop the entire domain or something. Go to the upper floor, I guess. Okay. I'll take the chest though. I saw this chest from the very beginning. I'll take it. Anyway, let me use the elevator now. And then the elevator crashes here.
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering us?
You call yourself a member of the infamous Deshret's relics, and you still can't even tell who's made it all the way to your headquarters?
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple, and you all just show up on the other side instead. How are we supposed to figure out what you're after?
Hey, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Kusela?
Why would I know? It's not like I'm in charge or anything.
This is your last chance.
Hey, I said I don't know anything. I'm just an average member here. I'm telling the truth. If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves? Who can remember every name and face with so many people coming in and out every day?
The irony. His life became a light for so many, yet to others, it wasn't even worth remembering. Where's the records room? Answer me.
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go through them as much as you want. It's not like any of them still matter anyway.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? You mean the one that got burned down? Kusela. Ah, yeah, I remember him now. The guy who could hardly walk.
Watch your mouth. That's our boss you're talking about.
He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in. But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away and started a fire in the records room. He couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't a fraud. And after that, Deshret's relics fell into complete disarray.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us here is perfectly aware of what he had done. Tell me, where is the old records room?
It's just over there. Go see it for yourself if it means that much to you. There's nothing left in there but ashes. No human could ever survive that kind of inferno.
Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the others here to guard these guys. Spare them no mercy if they try anything.
Okay. So we're going to the room that he burnt down. The old records room.
So, this was his final destination. How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with a limp and sneaking in here to start a fire? If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able to get out of here after starting the fire, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful thinking. Let's look around. Maybe we can find something that's been left behind.
Everyone searches around the room.
Is this a cane?
Oh, that's his cane.
Must be the one that Dia's father used.
Kusela.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more. What if something else has been left behind?
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh?
Cutscene. Wait, the cane was a sword? Is that a sword? What is that?
Potso.
Wait, isn't
What?
that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dehya has slain
Oh look, it's his baby Dehya.
now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dehya, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dehya, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more. Yeah!
His cane had the sword all along. So he fought? Did he fight? No, because then it wouldn't be sheath.
Proclaim our victory.
No! Stop!
Evil shall plague us no more.
Oh my god. That's so touching, actually. The whole story was shared with the Corps of 30, which finally joined the investigation in the name of restoring order. The members of the Stretch Relics were brought to justice, and the members of the Deccan Olimar turned themselves into the authorities. The king that once belonged to Kusila was given a day as part of their inheritance. Day was completely silent on the way back to Sumeru City. So his cane was like that toy sword that she had, like in the plays or whatnot, because he had kept repeating the same stories to her, and they had used the like same props or whatnot.
What's this?
We got some snacks and drinks, all on Paimon's tab.
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up tomorrow with loads of money. And Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. You looked super confused at the time, but said it was an adorable thing to say. These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon's life philosophy.
She rarely spends her allowance on other people. It's really my treat, but you get the point.
Hey, this way you get something from the both of us for the price of one. Anyway, the point is that you should eat to your heart's content. You'll feel better for sure once you've gotten something in your tummy. Junior Azad will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Aw, thanks you two. Honestly, this is very unlike me. I just had a lot on my mind on our way back, so I didn't know what to say. My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. They just shook me even more than all the feelings we've shared during our previous adventures.
Yeah, because it's like she used to like hate her father or whatnot, and that's why like she cut ties with him. But at the end of the day, like his father, like or her father, like truly remembered her and like only wanted the best things for her. That was it.
But when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished without a trace, and I was left feeling more empty than ever before.
But the sword, the toy sword being inside the cane was like actually endgame.
It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me.
Everything had just happened so fast.
Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. But perhaps to us, it's the most worthless thing of all. Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. But when it came to avenging my father, there was no Mora to be made anywhere.
That is true.
My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look at me now. Am I any different? Despite all my promises about never forgiving him, and never trying to understand him, I still went to such lengths to find out the truth, and nearly even shed tears for his sake. We're hypocrites. All of us.
You should never question your true feelings, though.
Yeah, you're right. It's just a pity that we often only recognize our true feelings after it's already too late.
You're back! Are all of you alright?
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just wrapped up everything with my dad. All I can do now is wait for their verdict. Huh? Dehya, you're looking quite down again.
Paimon will explain. A lot happened while we were gone.
Once Paimon finishes telling the story, Dernzel begins to cry. It takes some time for her to compose herself.
Sorry. I really should have controlled my emotions better. I just...
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well. Truth be told, I'm starting to feel a little guilty watching you cry like this.
But Dehya, your pain must be even worse. You shouldn't need to comfort me.
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing has finally shown me the difference between illusion and reality. My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives as long as they moved to a new environment. That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. It's like saying, what's wrong with adapting to a new life? However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept it. This impulse brought me great turmoil, and even made me feel ashamed for turning my back on your father's kindness. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part of who I am, and I will never be able to lead a peaceful existence.
I understand how you feel.
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example, I'm now thinking about taking on some small odd jobs. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character in his play. Even if the ending of the story may be childish and ridiculous, it won't really matter.
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's not out for Mora. Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating? What about stopping by the Grand Bazaar again?
Right. You said you wanted to get a rug for your family.
We'll come along too.
It's always more fun when everyone's together.
I can't thank you enough for taking care of me this entire time.
This time we don't have to go for that filler arc. We have to go for the filler arc. Clear your head? What do you mean clear your head? I'm fine. What do you mean clear your head? I thought it was just gonna end right there. And now we gotta go and, like, we're going shopping. It's time. That was definitely... Her father was a hero of his own play. He's a very imaginative person.
This rug here is...
He had a sword in his cane. That's literal, that's some anime type shit.
Exquisite. And the fabric is also of high quality.
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Hey, aren't you that mercenary who bit?
Yeah, I was about to say, why is he talking like that?
Talk? Wait, are you here to take revenge on us?
What are you talking about? Do I look like I could take you all in a fight? I just came here to give you something. I'll be on my way to give myself up to the Corps after this. Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Ahmar's camp, hoping to alert them to your presence. But when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Ah, so you probably got there after us.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves in to the authorities. Even that last camp was not going to last for much longer. I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, I might as well do the same. One of the injured members gave this box to me, and told me that it contained some of the old man's last possessions. Everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured I should get this to you before the Corps could get their hands on it.
Thank you.
No worries.
I wonder what
We're
it is.
all
What it is.
living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone for it.
So this box contains everything that Dia's father left behind. Huh. It feels lighter than expected.
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did with any Mora was spend it on things like drinks and meat. But let's see what's inside. What's this? It's just a bunch of junk. Ugh, kinda stinks.
Perhaps it's just been left unopened for too long.
A handwritten copy of a storybook. The paper's already yellowed, and it looks like it's about to fall apart. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule, he could have at least copied something useful.
That probably means this was really important to him.
Ah, and here are a few bags of children's snacks. The packaging's completely deteriorated. Maybe that's where the smell was coming from.
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these kinds of snacks. He'd always say that he got them for me, but in the end, he always ate more than I ever did. Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Isn't that just common sense? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, some round iron tiles, a wooden toy puppet, a wool scarf, which from the looks of it probably belonged to a woman, and a hair clip?
Is
Why
this
these
this
things
is
here?
is this her mom's belongings? Question mark?
I'm suddenly feeling a little scared.
I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He probably saw this box as some kind of personal trash heap and dumped any and everything in there. Two empty liquor bottles.
How is all of this fitting in that small
Tell me,
box?
you guys, are these the kinds of things that a normal person would leave behind?
Probably not.
Huh? There's something in the bottle.
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't smudge. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it in the bottle, though. If I end up forgetting about it, it won't really matter. To Dehya. It's a letter from
Like, but
Dehya.
why? Why would you just write a random letter to Dehya in the bottle? I don't get it. You don't need to read it out loud if you
It's
don't
all
want
right.
to.
I'll just read it out. If he went to the trouble of writing a letter, there must have been some important things that he wanted to say. Or at least record down.
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. Guess I don't have many days left. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose I'm already long gone. You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, everyone enjoyed having you in the group. But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's probably the guy's fault.
Why didn't it say they were never up to any good?
Can you believe this guy? He can point the finger at himself.
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if you end up finding out the truth. The reason being that I was never your father to begin with.
The lore. The lore!
Wait, what?
Surely, he must be joking, right?
I don't know.
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called flame main. Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. With just a teeny tiny bit of effort, I felt I could rule over the entire desert. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day, and discovered a baby in the sands. It was you. You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little while longer, you would have been buried forever. But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you really were a bundle of energy.
Sounds like he's serious.
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other choice. I was their most esteemed leader, after all. It's not like I could just tell them that I suddenly wanted to play at being a father. At this rate, I'll puke up all the liquor I just drank from this bottle. Anyway, Dehya, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
That's the end of the letter. In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child.
But isn't that also a good thing?
I suppose. Or I would have suffocated under the sand a long time ago.
He was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative doesn't change that.
Yeah. It's just a pity that we had to learn the truth of everything like this.
Do you already have some ideas about the decision that he wanted you to make?
I do. If he first found me alone in the sands, then I want to try my hand at finding the person who abandoned me. I just have one wish. To tell them a story, that there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold, and that only under his care was I able to grow and mature into the person I am today.
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on adventures all the time. Maybe we'll be able to
Dehya Story Quest Part 2?
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
I also don't want to see his efforts go to waste. I don't want you to stop going forward.
I'll help too.
Thank you. All of you. Thank you so much. My life has certainly had its twists and turns, but I've always considered myself lucky, because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.
And that's it. Lion's Blood quest complete. That was a lot. I'm gonna be honest with you. I thought it was just gonna be it'll be like the kind of quest where like we would go and do some side objective or whatnot, and then like, you know, we learned something about Dehya in the process. But this was a literal like whole story arc for Dehya. Like we learned so much about Dehya's past and whatnot. And there's still mysteries to her past. So I don't know. Maybe they're gonna do a Dehya Story Quest Part 2. Maybe. I doubt it, but but maybe like there's a possibility because this does sound like something that would be continued, right? A lot of Dehya lore. That's a lot of Dehya lore, but you know, you guys take that in. I'm still trying to take it in a little bit. I hope you guys enjoyed the playthrough. I did. I really. I was sitting here quiet most of the time, but I was reading everything, so you know I had to like just take in the story as it was happening and just react to whatever happened up front. So don't think I was falling asleep or anything, really. I enjoyed the story, and I hope you guys did enjoy too. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment down below. And with that, I will see you goddamn gamers next time.
Prepare while we can.